I wanted to pick out two guys who looked pretty exceptional on against the New Zealand Breakers on Monday. And although there were a few notable items, most people are talking about Jared McCain, who a lot of people were scared about his up and down performances during Summer League. But in this game against the New Zealand Breakers, comes out 4 for 9 from three. Drummond, who we've seen been taking a lot of threes during practice and during training camp, he comes out and knocks down a three. So obviously, I guess New Zealand Breakers, so that context matters here. But which one of those two could have a bigger impact this season? Drummond adding threes to his bag, or McCain's sharpshooting off the bench?
I don't think either is going to be a mainstay.
Yeah.
I think Drummond will, obviously with the minutes that he plays, I think he'll hit the occasional three. I don't think he's going to be shooting threes, and I think he's going to turn to Brook Lopez this season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could probably develop into that if they put the time, but, I don't think he's going to be out there like Brook Lopez. McCain, I can't see him getting the consistent opportunities. Not from him not being able to do it. I just don't see where those consistent opportunities are going to come from. Especially early on. He may play a little bit, but I just don't think that they'll give him the opportunity to, bring that firepower off the bench consistently. He may have a shot, to try to earn those minutes, sure, throughout the season. Maybe after the first few games, they'll, kind of give him a chance. But with the guys they have and being more of a smaller perimeter team, I just find it tough for him to consistently get minutes.
Yeah. I mean, which one could have a bigger impact? If Drummond's 3-point shooting is like legit, and that's not just a preseason like fun, that would be my pick because he's going to play more impactful minutes on this team. So therefore, anything he adds to his game would just be a bigger bonus for us. I think between the two, which one has a more realistic chance of being helpful to us? McCain, because I think in the end he'll have more attempts, even in his limited play from three, because McCain's going to go out there and let it fly. That's what he's going to do. That's when he knows his job, what it's going to be. So, I mean, by all accounts, he looks like a nice young future piece, but caught up in an extremely deep guard set, right? And we got Maxey, Gordon, Lowry, Jackson. Some of those guys aren't going to play a lot of nights. Well, we know which ones, but obviously not Maxey. But some of those guys are not going to have nights where they don't even play. So, McCain's going to be left on the shuffle. I mean, like, you look at people starting five, you got Oubre at 2. So, like, all those guys I named aren't even the starter besides Maxey. So he's going to have to prove himself and earn PT. And I think he'll do that by knocking down shots. But let me ask you. So I looked at Drummond's career log here. I was actually surprised by some of this. His career high in 3-point attempts, 38 in the season, which surprised the hell out of me. This is when he was like Detroit's a guy, and this was like his second to last year before he left, so he didn't give a crap anymore. He just let him fly, I guess, at this point. He shot 38 that year. He had 5 of 38, so 13%. Do you think he attempts more or less than that
this year?
Yeah, so that's 1 every 2 games, pretty much.
I'll say more.
See more? Okay. Yeah, I mean, he shot 2. He made 1, but he shot 2 the other day. So I'm going to say more too. Yeah, he only shot 3 last year.
Yeah, I say he shoots more.
Yeah.
I just think that the way I envision them playing, they're not going to use him as a post threat. He's going to take some opportunities. I think he'll take more opportunities, but it also depends on how those first 10 to 20 shots go.
Yeah. If he's still shooting 13%, I don't think he's going to make it to 38.
Yeah.
On those first 10 to 15. So, yeah, we'll see.
Hey, if he plays like Brook Lopez, I'd love that. I think most Sixers fans would love that if he's gets that adds that shot in his bag.
I think even he's like 25%, he'll be happy.
See,
with
but Brook Lopez was always a guy that could shoot it and score it. He just didn't shoot threes.
Mhm.
But we never really knew if he could.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? He just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
On the McCain thing, Tony Jones of the Athletic wrote, "I still don't expect McCain to be in the rotation on the opening night when the Sixers face the Bucks. Maxey and George figure to be the starting backcourt. Veterans Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon should be the first guards off the bench. But in this collective bargaining agreement era, threading a roster between the present and future is essential, and McCain is clearly setting himself up as Maxey's potential future running mate in the backcourt." What do you guys think about that?
I think that's an accurate statement. I don't know if the window is as small as he's, probably making it. Because they didn't go get Eric Jordan and Reggie Jackson for those guys to be reserves behind McCain.
Yeah.
Not initially. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have to perform, obviously, to maintain those spots in the rotation. But I believe that they brought them there for a reason. And that's to kind of fill those roles. And you have the young guy that's ready to, jump on the opportunity if it comes. That's why I said that he'll get an opportunity. It will come. And how he performs will determine whether he stays in that spot. But he'll have to perform at a high level to maintain it. And he'll also have to perform at a high level defensively. If he becomes a liability defensively, then he'll have a shot. So it's different aspects. A 3-point shooting can be great and it can be definitely helpful, but the other parts of his game is going to have to be there as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I said nice future piece. I just don't think we have just too many veteran ball handlers, scorers. We have all kinds of guards. If he was a bigger guard, I'd say he possibly would get more playing time, find his way playing more, but he's not. So it's like he doesn't have much of an advantage over those guys unless he just comes out and shoots like 45, 50% from three. Then it's like, man, we just can't keep him off the floor at this point. But he's got to prove that first before we get that. Going back to what you said a second ago, Eric, Brook Lopez did not attempt 10 or more three-pointers in a season until his 7th year.
Yeah.
7th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's when we didn't. People just assume because people don't shoot them that they can't shoot them. Like, guys didn't practice them. It wasn't an emphasis. Then all of a sudden it became an emphasis, and you see the transition that he made. That's not for everybody. Brook Lopez is special like that.
Oh,
his brother doesn't even do it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
his brother's got like a little jump hook, and that's all I see.
I'm just saying, but it tells you that is different. Like, but Brook Lopez could always score the ball, and he could shoot the ball from mid range. He always had a nice shot. He just all of a sudden his game just changed. He went to primary 3-point shooter that can get on the block and score, but that's what they turned him into, and he's had success with it. I believe he's extended his career because of that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he's playing for, big man. He's playing a long time. So 7th year, he shot 1 of 10. Year 8, he shot 2 of 14, right? Year 9 is when he gets into being a 3-point shooter. He shot like 382. From 14 to 380 in a year, 387. And he hasn't shot, he's only shot below 34% from 3 twice since then. So, like, he's done it, and he's just been consistent at it for the rest of his career. That's so impressive. That's
why I said, it's what Brook Lopez is doing it's different. Because a lot of those guys can't transition into that. Like, you taking those shots, and that's why I said you get to missing a few, then what happens?
Yeah, man.
When he made that jump in 3-point attempts, Teja, was that when he was with Milwaukee, or he's still with Brooklyn or LA?
He was with Brooklyn at that point. So okay. Yeah, he had 2 years. He had 2 years with Brooklyn where he only attempted 1, and then he shot 10, and then he shot 14. His last year in Brooklyn, he shot up to 387, and then LA, and then from there on out, his next biggest jump though was his first year in Milwaukee. He shot 512.
Okay.
That was when it was like, okay, like he's not just taking them now, like he's a 3-point shooter now. You know, when you get to the 500 mark, I mean, that's
You got the green light.
yeah, that's like not even before when he was with Brooklyn, it was like a third of his shots, right? With Milwaukee that next year, it was like 80% of his shots. So like, he became like just a 3-point shooter at that point.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Drummond probably sees that and he's like, man, if I can make like 25, 28%, I can maybe just extend my career. But I mean, difference between Drummond and Brook is Drummond's just an ridiculously good rebounder, right? That was never Brook's forte anyway. So Brook was a big man that couldn't rebound that well, who wasn't shooting threes. So he was like, I gotta do one of these things. So he's like, I'll just shoot threes.